2017 Sustainability Board meeting.
Meeting to order. Doesn't matter. Good. So we'll start with the opening and the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Well, welcome. Those that can make it today, good to have you. With that, I'll open up the floor. Is there any public comments for any non-agenda items at this point? No?
I'll just say, I'm Bo Platt. I'm a Melbourne resident, and you probably know our council just passed a resolution last night.
Would you come up and talk in the mic, please? Thank you.
Yeah, I'm Bo Platt, a Melbourne resident, and our city council just passed a resolution last night to create a sustainability board.
Fantastic.
So I've worked with Nick and Courtney on some other things, so I thought I'd come and just see what it looks like in person.
Great. Well, welcome.
Thanks.
Okay. Well, if there's no other comment, then I'll go ahead and is Nick going to make it, or does? Okay.
He had a list,
Okay.
and I think they're right there.
Is he here?
Dylan's
Okay.
here and Nick.
We'll just wait one more second then.
I think Nick.
Nick out there?
Yeah, he's coming.
I think Nick went to go get his list.
Okay.
He had a long list.
While we wait for Nick, then, why don't we go ahead and just jump over to the next one, just to see if there's any project updates from the board members? Does anyone have anything tonight they want to update us on?
I can talk a little bit about the aeration project. There was a lot of activity
Okay, that'd be great.
this week. So FPNL came out. They figured out where they're going to put a pole, where they're going to run the power, station the equipment. All of that stuff has been figured out. John Stone came to the meeting with the city. John Treffry did a lot of work yesterday, and he was back at it today with two of his students. They're going to use a control canal, and it seems like it's not necessarily 100% yet, but the control canal was thought to be one of them that Anderson Street is on. So Anderson goes directly between two canals. I'm not sure if it was the one to the north or the south of Anderson, but he was doing a lot of work there. And what he's trying to do is he's trying to assess if the canals are comparable as it relates to bacteria levels, dissolved oxygen, things of that nature. And this morning when I got a chance to talk to Dr. Treffry, he did mention that as far as aeration goes, the canal can't wait another day because there's like 3 to 4 feet. The lower 3 to 4 feet of the canal is almost without any oxygen at all. And he said that there's a very strange pink bacteria that's prevalent down towards the bottom. But whether or not the aeration is going to achieve the goals of reducing the organic material on the bottom, that's the whole purpose of aerating every day for the next year. So anyway, make a long story short, a lot of activity, and I would think that there's going to be bubbles blowing within the next 30 days. That'd be pretty cool. Yeah.
Which canal is the one that's going to be aerated?
It's the one that's right, it divides Kenwood Court and Redwood Court. So it's basically right across the street here. If you look at the canal that the fire station's on and go over 2 or 3 to the north. Yeah, so it should be pretty cool. Yeah.
That'll be interesting to see. Get started.
Also be interested to see when there's fish kills, how that canal fares.
Yeah, if there's fish kills, for sure.
Very good. All right. Thanks, Matt.
You're welcome.
Does anyone else have any updates tonight?
Well, I mean, technically there's at least one video I could show you guys. I'm not really rigged up to do that right now, though. So I actually have a lot more that maybe I could just push to the next meeting and do a full overview of everything I'm working on and have been working on.
Great. That'd be great.
Are they posted or are they still?
One of them is, so you can go and see the solar video from the RFP, and that's on the sustainability page.
Great. Okay, well then if there's no other updates from the board members, then I'll go over to the staff update. Mr. Nick.
Thank you very much. Got a bunch of stuff, kind of jumping off of where Dylan left off. The solar update is on the website for the video, and then there's an additional video on the website as well on the YouTube page, and links on the city website that leads to the addendum meeting that we had here with all the contractors that showed up. Zach and Asif were present for that meeting as well. From that meeting, we got all of our questions from the prospective proposals and different companies that will submit proposals. And that brings me to my first item, that the addendum is out and that the bids are due on the 1st of next month. So we'll be getting bids in. I've been answering phone calls and talking with all these individuals and documenting our conversations and making sure that any of those questions were included in the addendum before it went out. And then at this point, everything that they ask, I direct them back to the website to keep everything, professional that way. So everything's going to be delivered to City Hall at 2 o'clock on the 1st, and then we'll go through those proposals in the pre-bid process, review them. Asif has designed and helped design a wonderful piece of, survey software, or just surveying, or how would you describe the?
I did a pre-design for all city buildings. I concentrated on City Hall. I did 2 designs for City Hall. I did 2 designs, one with normal inverters and one with micro inverters. And I balanced them out and I picked the best one out.
And then the process that we're going to go through to review each of the RFPs.
Yes, and for the RFP, we created a judging form and a way to judge them, how every judge will be able to judge each company that puts a proposal forward. And there is a point system to that in which we can decide who.
So everyone's going to get the opportunity to judge these. That's on that board that's going to be doing that.
Yeah, and during the judging form, it's an online-based judging form, so that the votes or everyone's results can be tallied afterwards.
And the software that he was using was Helioscope, and that was what was used to create a representation of what this system would look like, as well as City Hall. So City Hall, Fire Station, Police, including Canopy at Police, Schechner Center, and Pelican Park A-frame, and Pelican Park itself. So that's all going to be given to Courtney, and she'll be able to review that for kind of creating a budget analysis of the impacts of putting solar on other municipal buildings.
How big a system is it for this
City
building?
Hall?
Yeah.
150?
It's a DC nameplate of 93.3 kilowatts and an AC nameplate of 68.9 kilowatts.
93 kilowatts?
93.
It was designed to be as close as we could to the annual use.
That's a big system.
It should fit on the roof.
And the system did not include the breezeway at all.
So it's on both roofs.
It's on the flat roofs?
On the flat
It's on the
roofs.
flat roofs.
Because, not on the breezeway, because a lot of the contractors, when they were up on the roof, the conversations we were having was that the roof wasn't big enough, the breezeway. The undulations weren't wide enough. I mean, the possibility was there, and then there was also the potential for solar that you could adhere to the surface, rolled adhesive PV. John, how would you describe that?
Peel and stick.
Peel and stick, okay. So there were some options there, but everyone was leaning more towards the roofs. And we gave them the option for the RFP, so it's still out there if they want to propose that type of design. But the one that Asif created in Helioscope was one that we use both roofs for.
Do these roofs, the flat roofs, they pond water?
No.
No.
Maybe a little bit in some spots, but not much.
Okay.
And then on the solar fronts, the next thing is FPL. It was last month, I think I mentioned that I talked with them, and that we are hopefully going to, depending on what council decides, on the 2nd get approval to put solar canopies and solar trees here at City Hall and solar canopies at Pelican Park. The canopies will provide shade, and the power will go back to the grid, and we'll get to rent the land to them. And in that rental agreement, we get, I think, compensation so that we will actually come out with enough money to justify installing them, and then maybe money we can use to kind of keep that program going and put like we're going to put like a wireless internet out here.
Oh, yeah.
So that people that visit can come in and tie into it and stuff like that. So it's separate from the wireless of City Hall.
So will they shade the parking spaces?
They'll shade the parking spaces, yeah. And they should be tall enough so that garbage trucks can go underneath them and we won't have any problems with the dumpsters at Pelican Park. We'll install hopefully additional AC power adapters where we can have events at Pelican Park utilize those, and so that we don't overcharge the system. Because like Ocean Reef Beach usually uses a lot of power, and vendors out there have a lot of power. And if your Thursday farmers market want to use some power outlets, they can have access to that. So that should be really good. Hopefully that goes well. Communication with that was through our lawyer and their lawyers, and it's looking like it's going to get done right on time.
Now, you mentioned the Ocean Reef Beach.
Mm-hmm.
How will canopies impact that?
The canopies are going to be on the
West side?
Yeah, the western one row, and it should give shade to potential vendors. I mean, it would make those spots kind of prized.
Well, yeah, if they're high enough.
14 plus feet, so I think 16 feet.
Okay,
Yeah.
that's,
You could put a tent under it if you really wanted to.
yeah,
But we were, we had talks about where to put them and talking with Alan and everybody. And
charge extra for those sites.
That's right. Donation to the city or something.
When did you say that was supposed to be done by?
So we looked like we got everything done today. I was running around like a chicken with my head cut off today a little bit, trying to talk with 1,000 people. And it looks like our lawyers and their lawyers, Jim Beadle and Amy Welks, have communicated back and forth to the point where we have an agreement that looks like everybody's happy. So that should happen on the 2nd of next month. So, I'll be...
It's next week.
Yes, that is next week. It's coming soon. So
Is that the installation?
Oh, the installation will be finished up hopefully by depending on permitting with Pelican Park. This location should be done by the end of the year, maybe January, February, and then definitely by July of next year. So the hopes is to have this system from our end and the FPL system kind of done at a similar time so that we can kind of launch everything as a big push of solar and hopefully get a local business to go with PACE program solar as well, so we can kind of do a big solar push, next year, as an unveiling of what we've accomplished.
Awesome.
So, any questions on solar?
Now, what about, do you need to get any DEP permits? For
Yes,
that'll take a while.
Well, the good news on that end is that, since our relationship with DEP permitting has some history, and John Stone was really helpful with that. Jason from the DEP is looking at filing a permit that's not a general permit so that we can take that permitting time of 6 months and cut it down to maybe 1 month. So hopefully that'll help speed the process along, because that could be a big issue because of the CCCL line over there by the beach. But, yep, all taken into account and hopefully remedied before we get to that problem.
What's the CCL line?
Coastal...
Construction control line.
There it is. Thank you, John.
DEP regulates everything east of there, and that line is the east edge of the right-of-way of A1A.
But since it's in a parking
You
lot,
want to build
paved on,
anything there, DEP has to.
they want to make sure we don't impact the natural vegetation, but since it's a parking lot, we're not going to be impacting much of anything other than pavement. So it's good that we're doing it in that location. Community garden update, big step forward with that. I want to thank Zach and Austin for all their hard work there. We've been working on that with the scouts, and as well, Dylan took some wonderful video with both scouts that have been out there building the gardens and putting in the fence. Next is the rain barrel irrigation system that I talked with Dave about earlier, and running over the designs, it looks like if we do a 4x4 frame structure with the stand-up barrels rather than the lay-downs, simply because of the plumbing of them would be easier, and the stability, it looks like we're going to have a larger degree of stability, and we'll have a little less bowing or weight that we want to flex those.
So you're gonna put it on, you're gonna build a support structure rather than?
It'll be a 4x4 frame with 2 exterior posts and then 3 horizontal posts that will hold it in place in case of anything. We did get some extra soil put over there by Public Works.
Is it gonna be raised up?
It'll be raised up a little bit, but the 3 barrels stacked high should give enough head pressure so that we should be able to get to most of all the beds with the hose system. And we're also going to have Public Works install the additional irrigation hose bibs from the line that's already out there to the shade house. So there'll be ample water available for them. Sold 2 more.
How many barrels?
It'll be 12 barrels.
It's a good start.
Good start. You know, if we need to improve it, we can come out another whole 12 barrels if we want to go out more.
Yeah.
There's room for that, but
It's kind of hard to determine how much water you can collect off that roof.
yeah, it depends on if it rains, like,
You
you
can
know, like
measure
it
the
has
square
been.
footage and.
I mean, if it's maxed out, we're going to have 660 gallons of water.
Yeah.
And I don't know, you know, how much, like you said, that roof can supply, but if it does its job and we get some nice rain from hurricanes like we've had in the past, or just tropical storms, hopefully we'll get there. If not, we have the other irrigation setup, so either way.
Well, where it really benefits is when you have infrequent rains, and you can extend out the rain. Like this time of year,
Yeah,
it doesn't bother you a whole lot because
We have-
it's wet anyway.
Yeah.
You know, unless you get a couple of days, like a week of dry weather.
so that looks like it's going to be installed next month, probably the next couple of weeks here. So if anybody wants to volunteer and has some time,
I'll definitely help you with that part, and it sounds
So,
like you're at about the right point.
we're right at the right point. I'm going to buy supplies this week, and I want to install it, let's see, July, August. I mean, I'd like to do Saturdays or Fridays, whatever you guys prefer. So I'll send out a survey and see who's available for what. So expect an email from me regarding that, probably in the next 2 weeks. We do the 11th and 12th, or the 18th and 19th. So everybody expect an email from me from that. And then anybody that you want to invite to come along and help. The scouts are going to be there doing some other things as well, putting the final touches on the beds, and then the dirt will be delivered probably on the 19th, so that we can have everything done that last week and just kind of make sure everything is running smoothly during that.
Where's the dirt coming from?
My contact at UF, Linda Seals, is helping me facilitate that.
Is it Florida Recyclers over on Sarno next to the dump?
Can't honestly say right now. I can send you that in an email.
One of the ideas was we were going to use mushroom.
Mushroom compost.
Which I don't think Recyclers has.
Oh, okay.
The mushroom, we'd have to.
So it's probably not
we'd have to
that.
get that for some, well, we could do, it's half and half, right? So they may be able to provide the first half.
Okay.
Yeah, you just want to make sure it doesn't have a whole lot of sand in it, because a lot of that stuff, you want a lot of organic matter.
Yeah, I want 100% mushroom compost.
Yeah,
Okay, I thought we
I
were
think
gonna
that's
do half.
good. From
Depending on the cost, I mean, I want rather than get.
Sure, sure. Yeah, I'd be interested in where we contact to get the mushroom compost.
Okay.
Probably a lot of folks.
Yeah, I can send that in an email out as well. And that'll definitely be in the update. So, I mean, that'll be after it gets delivered, but.
Probably what you guys use for FIT, right? Did Linda,
Yeah.
because Linda was helping them.
We, I don't know where the soil came from, it's whoever FIT contracts, but for our beds, which are the same design, we got 40 cubic yards of dirt, and we have a lot of extra.
Yeah.
So we built a dirt box, but, yeah, we had 40 cubic yards, and it was, I've never seen soil like it, being a Florida kid. I'm used to sand, and it was very rich and moist and nice.
Yeah.
And dark.
Well, if we, can't find a supply through Linda there, I'll definitely, reach over
I
to
mean,
her.
I could ask our grounds manager who that was.
And I could compare prices again.
Yeah.
But we did this before during the original process. Just talking about the community garden and wanting everyone to know that they'll be getting an email from me about the next 2 upcoming weekends of the 11th, 12th, 18th, and 19th for installing the irrigation and probably having the compost come in as well. So the fences are up, the beds are built, and they're going to be put in their locations relatively soon. We got most of the mulch there that we're going to use on the path. The path has been carved. It looks like a giant S, so you'll see a big S from the sky when the drones are flying to video everything. That should look really good. Wanted to talk a little bit about the sustainability page for Facebook. Just make sure everybody is sending their information to Julie as they go through so that we can get the info to Dylan so that you can post regularly. I wanted to kind of reiterate that we should be putting out 2 during the week and 1 during the weekend at minimum.
Yeah.
I'd say.
Yep.
And so anything that you see that you really like, that you want to put out there, send it to Julie and she'll put it to Dylan and he'll prioritize it. That way we don't oversaturate the digital space and we create that continued view that we want. So we're at a decent amount of viewers, but I think.
Never know.
Yeah. And then Dave, you sent me the video from the construction site.
Yeah.
I contacted John, and John made sure that I talked to Building and Zoning and Carl is the enforcement agent, so he is working closely with that company.
Yeah, I emailed this guy's name is George.
Okay.
Just on the website and said.
So he's going to get a visit from Carl tomorrow morning.
Yeah, I just brought it to his attention. He said it's already taken care of.
Okay. Yes, I mean, they are going to get a formal, visit from them for that. If you want to, I don't know if you want to comment on the video saying that, it's been.
Yeah, I should do that.
Probably,
Which construction?
So this is across from Publix, the condo. Let's go to
A friend of mine was walking down the beach and
there was some litter.
all kinds of construction.
And that's probably from the blow-through.
Plywood.
Yeah.
Big sheets of plastic in the ocean that he pulled out and it was just a mess out
Yeah,
there.
so making sure that we're on top of them is a good thing, I think, is a sustainability standpoint.
The other side too.
Well, is there not a fence on the back side?
Such a tall building, if wind blows through that top
The
floor
top sections, I can
and
see
all
that.
that
Okay.
debris
Like
goes
8
out
stories
there.
tall.
Yeah.
so.
Sea grapes out there, a lot of sea grapes.
Yeah.
Wall, pretty much.
Can't imagine how much is in the sea grapes if that much is on the beach. I saw the video. It's quite a bit of trash.
Yeah, I mean,
It's way to use somehow or.
What, sorry?
Oh, it's viral.
It's viral right now.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
you never know what'll catch fire. But that definitely caught fire.
So you guys got tagged in it too.
Yeah, he did.
I had a question for Nick, is
Yeah.
when that you're gonna put all that out there, do you need our help putting the mulch and the beds out? Because I know I've seen it all out there, it's not out there now.
It's not yet.
Flying out there.
Yeah, so it'll be the 11th and 12th, we'll be putting the beds out, and then the 18th and 19th, we'll probably finish installing the irrigation. So those 2
days, those are.
Those 4 days, 11th, 12th, 18th, and 19th, are going to be
Should I mention?
work days for sure.
Okay.
So anybody that's available those days, let me know, and
About
we'll
the
schedule.
website and trying to
You
get
think
people
11th
to
and
me.
12th are gonna be what?
That's going to be more of the beds, and I'm going to try to get the beds
To-do list, essentially.
in their locations, and have the soil probably, dropped off then, and then the 18th and 19th will be of the irrigation, yeah.
And that's just gonna be PVC, trenching, gluing.
So I could pass you down that. The rain barrels will stack 3 high, the gutter system will drain into the top one, and there's an overflow so that the top barrel flows directly to the bottom barrel, and then the bottom barrels fill up back to the top barrel again, so you'll create 660 gallons of head pressure. And
Micro tubing, is it?
I got some, I think it's 1/4 inch or 1/2 inch of PVC. And then we're gonna tie that in with, that's $7 for these really, they're on the rain barrels I have out there now. They're really tight fitting seals that you could put in a 1/4 inch of pipe with threading so that you don't need to use PVC glue or anything, like that on the barrel. You use the seal.
The bulkhead fitting?
Yeah.
Okay.
And then that fits on there nice, and then the PVC will come out.
The problem with the bulkhead fitting though is you have to have a way to get your hand inside to tighten the nut.
That is true. I don't want to cut all the tops off of all of them.
Yeah, you definitely don't want to do that.
Well, maybe we'll do PVC glue on.
I'll talk to you.
Yeah.
There's a couple ways to do it, but if you can use the existing holes
For the tops.
just to connect them, and that's why the horizontal.
Was gonna be
Is
better.
this already built, the structure?
No, it's, I have that and another design.
I'll get together with you. maybe,
Okay.
and-
You come by the office tomorrow if you want to talk about it, sure.
Sounds good.
Along that, we have 12 barrels we've had for years.
Where at?
Our house.
Oh.
And I ganged them as many as 3 at any one downspout. What I found was that I had to use the biggest PVC that I could stick through the bung holes. Otherwise, when it rained, it flows so fast, it just blows
that's a good
out.
point, too.
And so 1/4 inch, 1/2 inch pipe doesn't hack it at all. I think I've got 1.5 inch or 2 inch, whatever, it just almost fits tight into those.
Well, he can fill, since we have a whole bunch like that, you can fill multiple barrels. You can split it out, like a manifold.
Yeah.
into
Yeah,
different-
but it still might go with a little bigger gauge.
Yeah,
And Public Works has got some extra PVC that I could probably get.
you
along.
definitely need to go to at least an inch.
Just an inch,
in
okay.
between them.
Because the thing is, a lot of these rainfalls don't last for
But they're
long
heavy.
periods. So, that's right, you get a lot of it quick,
Yeah.
and if you don't catch it, it's gone.
Yeah.
This is back against the,
Against the wall with the stairs.
yeah, racquetball court.
It's a racquetball court.
So it's going to stay on there. And how many did you say?
12. I think that's a good start. We can always increase from there.
Now, what I did, though, if you want them vertical, I did it with siphons, which got kind of interesting. One of the barrels had to have an open top so I could do stuff, but.
Well, my system works, I have one open barrel that it fills into, then that connects to the top 3, and then they go down to the bottom 3. But you also have to vent, because you can't just have water going in with no air coming out.
Yeah.
We might have to revise it to put them on the side, because I did do a design on the side, and the side design,
Yeah, the more I look
if I
into
braced it with 2,
barrels,
and we did 45 degrees, and they sat inside of 2x4s that were at 45, that would probably be decent. But again, yeah, we can talk more about that. The NEP project that got approved, the first step is going to be designing a sign, so for the next meeting, I want to try to get a sign design to you guys, so you can look at, for the swales that'll go in on DeSoto to communicate to the public that we're going to be doing this project over the next 3 years. So look forward to that. The NEP one-pagers that went out to Dwayne DeFreeze and Jeff Beal at FWC this week. Zach did a great job of tidying up my words and creating some on his own to make them 1 page or 2 pages.
Back front.
Yeah, front and back. And basically well, you want to talk about those real quick?
Sure. Yeah, there's 8 one-pagers. They're front back. Each of the 8 are satellite beach canal enhancements, or let me start by saying each of them is a 1-page about a particular project that is easy to read for the public or researchers or scientists or whatever to get a quick grasp on what we're trying to do. And they have the Sustainability Board logo on them. Each of them are satellite beach canal enhancements, Cassia bioswales, DeSoto Park kayak launch, DeSoto Park bioswale restoration, dune enhancement, oyster reefs, Pelican Beach clubhouse redesign, and seagrass restoration. Yeah, and some of these, like the oyster reefs and the Hangrove one, which falls under the satellite beach canal enhancement one, satisfy 2 green achievement targets set forth in the plan.
So we are knocking off those green achievement targets one by one, and at the next meeting, I want to give you guys some homework to come back with green achievement targets that you want to tackle next. And what I can do is I can email everybody the ones that we have done and are working on, and then we can look at the ones that we want to tackle next. So we can just keep this momentum going with the green achievement targets. So for the swale project with NEP, that's going to fall under one of our green achievement targets for, was it stormwater?
Is that the Hangrove one?
Well, no, the one that the NEP one we're currently doing is going to fall under reducing our impacts to the lagoon. And a lot of these other ones will as well, but the crux of all these are going to be volunteers and getting volunteers together. So 2 more pieces of homework for everybody is to look at board members that you want to see on the beautification board. Anybody that you know of that's a Satellite Beach resident that you want to see on the beautification board, so that we can get more members on that board, because it needs enough for a quorum It hasn't reached a quorum in the past 2 meetings. I got 2 people to apply, but they can't, one of them can't start for the next couple of months. The other one is eager to go. And the idea behind that is that I think that our volunteer groups for a lot of these projects and for, let's say, the scrub habitat by the skate park being constantly maintained should fall under beautification volunteer groups. We can work alongside them as a sustainability board, but I think that we should kind of empower that beautification board to do a lot of that. And we can do the outreach and funnel people there, and I'll work with them and those groups very, very closely, but unless you guys have a dissenting opinion, let me know. I think that that's a good avenue of attracting people towards volunteering with the city to the beautification board.
One of the complications is they meet during the day, don't they?
Friday, yeah.
It's like during afternoon, like
First Friday of every month at 9.
Friday morning? 9.
Yeah,
It's
in the
morning,
morning.
so it's a little complicated.
Yeah. So, you know, retired scientists or just active people that want to be involved, that would be great. Reaching out to some of our county schools and Eastern Florida is another way that I'm going to try to get more interns and volunteer hours. So that's happening as well. And those are all going to go towards these programs that we're creating through these NEP grants and through agreements with hopefully residents. So the one that Zach mentioned for the canal is going to require us to visit residents and see if they want to take part in this project. So we're going to be pounding the pavements later in the year when it's not so ungodly hot out, and actually going door to door and meeting with people. And anybody that wants to be involved in that, let me know. We're going to try to do that hopefully, I think October, when it gets a little cooler.
Do you have a plan for what you're going to do?
Yeah, so the resident will be provided with funding and match to put a swale in their backyard, roughly 6 feet wide and 1 foot deep, so it'll adhere to the DEP regulations of what a swale is. Vegetate that swale with native plants, and then on the opposite side of that swale, hang mangroves off their seawall into the lagoon so that they can have a vegetated backyard that reduces stormwater impacts. All those costs are included in the NEP grant proposal, and some of them will be compensated from, I believe from the city as well as from the grant, and then this will also go to help Dr. Trefferys with a lot of his match from his grant that he applied for, because we wanted to, you know, not only look at aeration as a way to reduce what exists in the lagoon, but also stop a lot of these nutrients before they get into the lagoon. So if that goes well, we're going to need 30 homes. That's roughly 10% of the estimated 300 lagoon front homes on the west side of South Patrick. So if you know anybody that falls into this category, please reach out to them and have them give me a call. I'm going to be reaching out to them the old-fashioned way, but hopefully we can start somewhere first. I bet if you know anybody on your street.
Yeah, can certainly ask around.
Thanks.
How big of a area do they need in their backyard?
So if it's, I mean, I would love to see something 500 square feet. So roughly 6 feet wide, 1 feet deep, and 50 feet long. If that happens, the amount of rainwater that you would collect and the amount of nutrients that you would reduce just from the lawn clippings alone, the top 1/3 of the lawn clippings contains roughly 2 pounds of nutrients, nitrogen and phosphorus per 1,000 square feet. So 1 pound per 500, X number of homes. We can actually remove a lot of nutrients from the system just by eliminating the grass clippings if 10% of those fell into the lagoon, or if those grass clippings, when they do go back onto the grass, get washed and their nutrients go into the lagoon. You're going to reduce some that way, but just by removing them from the equation and by planting natives, you're going to definitely remove a lot of nutrients. And we can't exactly quantify that right now, but through the NEP program that we have with Dr. Trefferys doing the measurements of the Soto Park, we can get a better ballpark figure on that actual removal rate, and then hopefully use that to get more projects. PACE program website update, working again with commercial businesses in the PACE program. We have met with Electric Rides. Asif and myself went and talked. Ed over there, I believe. Yep. He's really nice, and he's talking with us about it, and we're going to try to get an agreement with him to put solar, so it's another green achievement target we can knock off the list. And it was recommended that we include more PACE program information on the website. So if you look at the sustainability page and you notice the change to it with the PACE program being front and center, that's why that exists now. On Courtney's request, we put the PACE program forward and have links to all the different business contractors that are available through the 3 different PACE providers.
Do we know if anybody's used PACE yet?
Courtney. She will be the testimonial when we create our PACE on that. So if you know anybody that has PACE, please have them call me as well.
There's been a problem in that they haven't had they haven't had contractors
Right.
available to work here.
They just
And
did
they
a
only
new
work
one.
with their own contractors that signed up with them.
So Hippo just got certified with them. So, and any contractors, you know, that need to be certified. Point of
Another
that.
thing from Electric Rides is that the owner of Electric Rides owns an electrical company. He makes transformers and does his circuit boards for that, but he also does circuit boards for inverters. So he has a tight company for inverters. So if we can partnership with him to find the inverters, we can use it for other community projects that we use, and maybe even for City Hall. So that would bring down the cost of inverters and everything else.
I presume he does the line inverters, not the micro inverters?
He does so he does big transformers.
Okay.
And that's one of the reasons why he was chosen as
Our first business to be solarized.
He's got a big roof. Facing south.
He's got a really nice roof, with a beautiful angle.
Yeah.
So the PACE program, U.S. Foods biodegradable products, still working on that process to bring us into the biodegradable. We did some wonderful stuff within the City Hall to get ourselves more environmentally friendly. We do have composting for the City Hall now, so if you find yourself eating food at City Hall and you see a little green bucket in the break room, that's for compostable materials, and I empty that into the composter at the community garden. We'll try to get that in the other City Hall facilities soon. I think Fire Station might be next, because they're going to have a garden bed installed. Hopefully before the 1st, we'll try to get over there next week or so. And they just want a replica of one of the ones that we put over there at the community garden on the side of their building. And, why not compost and put it right into their own compost system over there? So that's
The worm farm.
yeah, so vermicompost will definitely be down the road. Public Works has been really great about removing the debris back in the community garden. If you've been over there, you've seen some improvements to the area. So hopefully we'll get to the aquaponics in that area also.
Yeah, we could just experiment with that just to see. I need to get back in touch with my
Your friend off Trinidad?
yeah, my what?
Well, he was talking worms, he was talking fish.
Okay.
Aquaponics guy. That's your, his name right now.
Hey, Nick, we have a question on the...
Oh, yeah. Hey. Come on up.
We can't remember.
It's not a big question, it's a wonder. Carol Robichek, Satellite Beach resident. I heard you mention one of your green projects as being a kayak launch off of DeSoto. I just wondered where that was.
So the DeSoto Park area where the fields are currently, next to the baseball field, is going to be turned into a stormwater retention area.
Mm-hmm.
And the current kind of overlook area where people are launching kayaks from anyway is going to be the next one. So it's right where the gate is, just a little bit.
Okay, where we usually see manatees in the winter.
More towards the T.
More towards the broad canal.
Yeah, more towards the broader part, so it kind of looks like a T.
Okay.
So where the T comes to a head, where there's more space.
Do you have any date range with
No.
that?
Is that
Okay.
still on hold because of
It's moving forward.
Thank you.
Thank you, Carol.
EPA?
It was FWC with the manatees, but that looks like that's actually
Thank God.
moving.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Courtney,
Courtney took care of all
Courtney
that.
banged some heads together
Yeah.
with the assistance, I think, of some Florida elected officials.
Yeah, they didn't really have a leg to stand on, and once it was revealed that they were, not scientifically sound, it moved past them. It was just a couple of individuals.
Wow, that's good.
So yeah, it was really good to hear that. Speaking of more projects, we're going to write 3 more NEP one-pagers for Tortoise Island. Meeting with Tortoise Island, since the southern end of Tortoise Island is in our jurisdiction, they have a retention pond there that they want to look at improving the shoreline of. So I'm going to help them out, and hopefully we'll get involved with that, which will allow us to get involved with a demonstration shoreline that they'll put at their clubhouse, that we can do talks and stuff for Tortoise Island residents there in the future. And I talked about ESFC, BCC partnerships, beautification board. So another part of that beautification board renewal is going to be the invasive species replacement program. Recently I spoke with Titusville, and they have a really nice anniversary tree program where they give away trees. And again, this is something that we talked about with the Shade House, growing native trees and hopefully giving them to residents so they can replace carrot woods and Brazilian peppers and Australian pines and things of that nature with, native trees. So as part of the canvassing of would you like a lagoon-friendly shoreline in your backyard, and that whole push, we'll also be doing the lagoon-friendly lawn of the month and the invasive replacement. So I got a lovely list of all the people that live in the city. So first we'll go down the canals, and then we'll spread our way east and talk to everybody about the invasive replacement program once it gets up and running. Looking at, again, funding from the SISMA group. So I have a SISMA call on the 3rd to look at grants from the invasive species removal groups in Brevard County and the state. That hopefully will supply us with 50-50 match so that we can give contractors a reduced rate and people can do this in an affordable manner. If that goes well, I'll let you guys know next month. Yeah, that was that. The Junior Sustainability Group contacting Erica when school starts again at Surfside. They got the Green School Award. I don't know if you saw that. That was really great. There's a pamphlet being created by Joanna, one of our interns, that's going to be outreach for the community, for businesses, that'll have a kind of a leveling system to get them in the mood to reduce their impacts by eliminating straws, switching to environmentally friendly products and things of that nature. That's in the works as well. And let's see, Zach, you want to talk a little bit about the Melbourne meeting?
Sure. As this gentleman said last night, the Melbourne City Council passed resolution number 3660, which was to create a sustainability board for their city and to also transition the city infrastructure to all renewable based by 2035 and everything from the city limit by 2030. It passed 5 votes to 2. Which was better than I think what was expected. We were hoping for a 4-3 at least, so that was good. So there was about 100 people, I'd say, and 30 speakers. Wow. Only one of which did not agree. I actually don't know what he wanted.
There's always that person that shows up.
But he cited this as a national issue that should be taken care of by the federal government. But with their amount of movement, I don't think that's a possibility. But I think it's really good. That's another city with a board. And that also makes FIT have to move to renewables. Because we actually, admittedly, do not run most of the campus with renewables. The only thing I know for a fact that we run are our facilities golf carts off of the solar array that is broken. Because it got fried by a lightning strike.
Ouch.
And they're having problems with funding to fix it as their inverters blown up. So the reason why the inverter blew up was because their system was designed in such a way that backfeed wasn't taken into account and the grounding wasn't taken into account. So when that happened, the inverters blew up and some of the panels got fired.
I want to assure you that that was covered during the addendum for the solar proposal for this particular facility.
But yeah, it's really good. And Courtney Barker spoke, and she spoke first and told them about this board and what you guys have been doing. Jazzy was there too. and she cited a lot of financial reasons as to why a board is necessary, because some of the council members' concerns was obviously financial. But she told them what this impending solar array, how much we'll save on utilities, and I think that got a lot of them really quick, except for the two that ended up not voting for it, but it was really good.
Thank you, Zach. Any other updates from you guys? I want to thank both of them for their hard work past couple of months. Asif is going on vacation for a little while, and he's finishing up his internship with us. Big thanks to Asif. Zach, you're going to stay on a little longer, is that right? Mm-hmm. And then we're going to our conference in September for the APA? Is it
Board of Planning.
FPA. And that will be where we demonstrate the Sustainability Action Plan to a group of planners in Daytona. That'll be on Wednesday, the 6th? Okay. September 6th. We'll give you a full report of that when we get back. Other than that, I wanted to mention reusable bag program, being that Josh Paws is no longer here. We would like to see that continue, and anybody that wants to take the reins of that, please feel free. Basically, that's just going to be promoting it at events and things of that nature. I don't know when our next event is, probably the community garden in September 1st, which I'd like to see everybody there for. And any roles that you want to fill during that you prefer and you're comfortable with, let me know. And I can kind of maybe, Dave, if you want to be by the rain barrels talking to people about irrigation, John, if you want to talk about composting and worm compost, whatever you guys feel comfortable with chatting about, please feel free to do that, and we can kind of have you guys at different areas. And if you want to help kids plant, we're going to probably buy a couple of plants where people that are having the beds actually can go plant. And I definitely want to surprise, as an early gift, probably get, if there's one left over, a bed for the sustainability board that I'll kind of keep going, and we can have as a demonstration, and probably grow some pineapples and different things like that in there that we can.
Are there any available?
There still is a few available. I think we're at 12 or 13. If everybody gets one, if the individuals that want more get more, we're more like 17. But I don't want to give them away until everybody has an opportunity. Because some people want like 6, and I don't feel that that's appropriate to give 6 to one person unless we need to.
How much are they, 75?
50 apiece.
50.
Yeah. So yeah, the reusable bag program, it's still, I'm just making sure everybody gets fair game. But yeah, I don't think there's anything wrong. I think there'll be plenty of opportunity for people to have multiple if that's the case.
Is that still being done in concert with Surfrider, or?
I believe so.
Bo, do you know? Yeah.
Yeah, thank you, Bo.
So just I want to give you something else to do that I got reminded of in this situation here. So our website for the Sustainability Board, Go Green SB, currently is with Josh and his GoDaddy account. He has already said that as soon as we get a GoDaddy account name and an email address to our city GoDaddy, he will transfer those domains. So we need to get him the GoDaddy account number and email address so that we can get our domains.
Okay.
I'm willing to take over the bag program.
What's that?
I'm willing to take over the bag program.
Yeah, thank you, Josie. Excellent. Thank you very much.
And we won't make any bag lady jokes.
So at the community garden event, if you want to be with the bags and stuff, I could set you up in the shade house, and you can try to look at that. You already got help. Perfect.
Since you've got almost nothing to do, I think we've got a tradition developing about the EV guys having their thing in the fall here, September. Wasn't that the first time we did that?
16.
Yeah.
Is that already being worked on?
They asked FIT to help them promote, yeah.
Okay, so that's in the works then to happen here?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. We'll probably do it at Pelican Park.
They do it at Schechter Center.
Because it's got a big parking lot. That's the whole thing.
Even though there's no EV station there?
A lot of space.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, that would be an excuse to put an EV station
Well,
there.
that was the original spot for the EV station, actually, and then we decided to go with the beach. But I thought the plan was to still
That's
put
within
an
our,
EV station.
that's within our gaps.
Okay.
So, within 5 years, you'll see one.
But I guess the point is that on the rec department's schedule that, you know,
We'll work
people
with them on
reserve
that.
things, so you don't want competition.
What is an EV guy?
Electric
Electric
vehicle,
vehicle.
there's an electric vehicle club that centered in Melbourne, and Melbourne kind of wasn't treating them too well, they thought, and so they came over here for their annual. There's an EV day every fall, I think it's in September.
It's a week,
A week?
yeah.
Okay.
EV Drivers Week.
They have over 100 vehicles in their garage now. And they're not just like electric vehicles, like they have some retrofitted gas vehicles, like old muscle cars, these are pretty cool. And like the latest BMW i8s and Teslas and like that.
Well, one guy was there that had, also was driving an electric bicycle.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's, and I think with the electric rides place there, that should be a hopping place that day.
I had a question about the open house, and we were talking about September 1st is Friday. So Friday may not be the best day. If we want to maybe have a continuation of an event, I think it would be better on a Saturday or a Sunday to have an event, to have more people show up, right? Otherwise, it's just going to be a few of us. The community garden, we have September 1st is the kickoff, the open house.
I agree, it should be on the weekend.
Yeah, that's Saturday.
But if we're going to have anything, I mean, are we just going to, how are we going to advertise it? How are we going to
Going into
promote it?
Beachcaster,
I know we can-
Beachcaster.
we can,
We can get this, yeah, we can get all the pages on Facebook.
and we'll do a video beforehand, we'll launch,
Yeah,
we'll go out there and,
On the page?
yeah, I was saying, do something through Facebook, get like this is the Sally Beach page to share it. I know it's not the city page, but it does have.
You ought to check with the rec department
Okay, yeah.
because,
Okay,
Other
so
events?
just get all those
yeah,
pages to
you,
share.
you know, if you just, and it wouldn't happen, but let's say you were doing it the same Saturday the Ocean Reef Beach was being held. You
Right.
have a huge
Yeah.
competition, so
Okay,
you
that's-
do
so-
want to be a little bit careful.
how does everybody feel about Saturday versus Sunday? Saturday
Saturday.
or Sunday?
It's Labor Day weekend. I feel like Saturday would probably be better than Sunday.
Saturday it is. Okay, that being said,
When is Labor Day?
4th?
Yeah,
But that's a Monday, right?
yeah, Monday.
Well, Sunday is like Saturday.
on Labor Day. We could do 2
I
days.
mean, no, the only reason,
No, 1 day is plenty. You don't like Saturday?
well, no, I just play, we play football.
Oh.
So it's not a big deal. But Sundays, I mean, are we going to just do a one-time event? And Zach, they just did their open
Yeah.
house. So we should talk with him about what worked and what didn't. I mean, how many people came? I know Julie came.
Yeah, it was a good
I
show.
was out of town.
It's about 100 people.
I wanted to be there, but I was out of town.
About 100
So I-
people. What time was it that you kicked it off?
It was at 4, I think.
Wow, that late.
On the weekday?
Was it weekday? Oh, okay.
It was a
That's
Friday.
why I wasn't here.
That's why I was that late. But if we're gonna do it on the weekend, I would say, like, actually, depending on
Saturday.
temperature, some people may not even really want to be out there in the middle of the day.
I was saying,
Early
9
morning.
o'clock. 9 o'clock.
It's either gonna have to be morning or night.
I think you want to.
So 9 o'clock, Saturday the 2nd. We'll do, I was thinking a food truck.
Yeah.
There's a Veggie Love food truck.
Dave's been,
I would do it.
he's been yelling about a food truck for the whole year about this, so
I know.
I think he's already on board.
And a band.
Veggie Love. Veggie Love has got some really good stuff, I mean.
Make some breakfast.
And they're probably not busy at 9 a.m. too, so it might help. I mean, we can go to like Dunkin' Donuts and get, that, but I don't think that's, I think that,
But that does
maybe
make-
morning smoothie would just set everybody right.
It does kind of make a point, though, if the food truck, and I mean, I remember your vision of what this grand opening was going to be, and for your vision, it fits better in the evening. Only because
Right.
your vision was like a full-on, like literally like a event, party type thing for it. But if we're going to do the morning, it doesn't exactly fit.
Yeah.
What
We
you
could do Friday
originally
night.
wanted.
Well, that's true, but that doesn't, it's not for me. I'm just
No, no,
saying
I
it
know,
would be
just
kind of
letting you know
a
that.
fun event. It's a bunch of like-minded people in our community.
Yeah.
No, I'm just saying, like, the
Get
food
together.
truck
9
and, like,
o'clock's
certain
kind of hard to
things.
get together.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's okay, but it's better in the evening.
So you think in the evening?
If we're trying to do what he was envisioning, I would say evening is going to be.
But Saturday, you got to compete with the tennis people, they also
Bring 'em over.
have, things going on Saturday, so sometimes they fill up that parking lot.
True.
If they have.
Well, we could have people park in the,
Can we
Yes. Okay, that's
that's
good.
an argument for Sunday, though. That's a really good argument for
Sunday's
Sunday.
like Saturday, and we could make it a whole event every Saturday.
Okay, all right, so let's say we go Sunday then. All
What
right.
about
Got everything you wanted.
Friday
And now you're
evening?
putting-
Perfect. Friday evening's a good
Got a
food
Sunday
truck.
party. That's-
Friday evening?
Evening is a good street
Yeah.
day.
Okay.
Not a good band day.
No, well, yes,
Big bands.
there's that too.
Rain showers.
Oh, in the afternoon, that's right, you do.
But no, if you go after the rain shower at,
But September, there's still rain.
no, we should be done by then.
Unless we got a hurricane.
Oh, we have a hurricane.
We could be in the middle of a hurricane and all this is moot.
We have a hurricane, but we didn't have thunderstorms or anything.
What, mute?
Hurricane.
Okay, so, all right, so maybe back to the first then?
Lower that.
Sorry, back to the first for an evening with a food truck, and are we still getting music? Because you wanted music
I
out
mean,
there.
what do you guys want? Is it just, I mean,
So at ours, so we had we had like 100 people.
100 people.
Granted, most of them were students, but it started at 4, and we started with speeches. We started with students speaking, so, you know, in this case, board members speaking, maybe. who
You, me.
spearheaded this, and
I'll get Roman.
then.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's
Maybe the
pretty much the
mayor.
guy that made this happen, so.
Oh, yeah, definitely, he needs to speak.
After
Sorry.
speech, we had
Saw your confusion.
speeches total, and then.
How many?
6.
We probably won't have more than 3.
I mean, no, yeah. And then we cut the ribbon at the last speech, and then it was basically, there's food here, we didn't have music, we should have, but we didn't have music, and then it was basically tour of the garden, and we had people, tour guides that took people around our garden.
Yeah, they're all your volunteers or sustainability
Yeah,
club?
yeah, and all of our food, or I should say, all of our plates were compostable, and our drinks.
I will,
Veggie truck.
yeah,
I think a food truck, everybody loves food trucks.
yeah, Veggie Love Food Truck would fit really well.
If you say.
I don't know if you guys have had their food from their food truck, it's really, really good.
I think in the speeches, you should talk about the board and it has been achieving, so it's like your first public view, mass public view.
Yeah, this is the first time that a green achievement target comes to life. Oh, look at this.
Okay,
So Zach, we got Zach.
Zach's
Great
our
public
speaker.
speaker, we got him.
Roman,
Nick,
I'll say a few words.
then we got Roman.
And then Frank cuts the ribbon.
There you go.
That's a done deal.
Done.
Okay.
Sounds good. When's the beer truck come?
What's that? Or Julie?
Doesn't Roman cut the ribbon?
Mindy?
Ooh, yeah.
Okay, with Frank, they can do it together.
They can each hold an edge of the, we'll use a gardening shear.
Is that it?
That'll look really, really good.
Machete.
Okay, so BYOB, right?
Can't we do that? Yeah, can't.
Are we
yeah,
allowed to do
can
that?
Bring,
BYOB
Adult beverages.
to a city event? We could check on that.
I don't see any problems, but I'll just have to.
I mean, how many people
Um,
are we gonna be able to get?
I think we'll be able to get 100
Probably
people.
get a lot.
Yeah.
Honestly, I really think good.
Yeah, I think definitely, especially for this, if we sell it right and we do it on Facebook and we do it,
Not sell it.
not sell it, but like promote it.
Promote it.
Sorry. So,
It's free, right?
yeah.
It's free, yes.
Yeah,
Show up.
Encourage people to ride their bikes there.
ride their bikes,
Yeah, that's good.
because they could
Thank you for that.
lock their bike up to each of the individual posts that are, where the rope goes through too, that could be.
There we go, have a prize for who rode the farthest and who walked the farthest.
All right, I want emails with great ideas like that.
That's awesome. That is good. You get a pineapple or something.
I think you should have an agenda for this.
Yeah.
An itinerary, so people know what's gonna happen, so they just don't show up and they're like, no.
All right, so I'm going to create an itinerary by the next board meeting, and anything that you want to see, please bring it with you then.
If this is done on the 1st of September, the next board meeting is almost on top of it.
Yeah. Okay, so that's a good point. Have it ready so that it can happen. So if you want to have, no, call me ahead of time and we'll work on it, okay?
Yeah, I
Yeah.
would do it like next week.
All right.
These things are huge. Like,
All right. I will make this my top priority for the rest of the month, as well as solar.
Should we meet to do a sub-meeting or something? You wanna get together?
Well, Sunshine State, you guys can't meet.
No, you can, Julie would need to notice it, you just have a working meeting.
Yeah, working.
Okay.
Just make sure.
Event workshop.
What?
Yeah, workshop. Well,
Just a quick
Time on that.
All right.
Stuff from
If
the
it's-
gardens like this.
Yeah, yeah. I like that.
Yeah,
You probably have some stuff growing there.
Yeah, I mean, they're eating them, my kids eat them.
Bring the seeds.
Squirrels.
Bring the seeds. Bring the seeds.
Sanibel, you're eating squirrels now.
And what about music? We want music? Because I'm thinking I'm gonna reach out to my dad and see if we can't get some acoustic bluegrass music, nice and easy listening, not too loud.
I have a girl that plays by herself. She's like just out of high school.
Okay.
She's played for the Seahawks before we had an opener.
More music the merrier. Well, I think Zach's right. This is the first
It's
James
our
Huber.
first time out there.
Yeah.
It might be for ourselves.
I'm hoping it becomes an annual event.
That's what I was thinking. That's why I want to pick that day right, because if it could be an event for us, everybody bikes there, and you got a bunch of like-minded people.
But it might be better to have it.
I think we
Well, next year we'll be on Saturday.
Yeah, but that originally came from KBB. Allison originally
Then we
was
have a big backdrop.
We have two events. We have a planting and a harvest.
The big backdrop, we could put,
I want a movie on
I think
this.
we'd have to look into.
Who has a projector
Sure
we
we
can
can,
project
yeah.
onto that wall? Anybody have a
I
movie?
do.
Yeah?
I do.
So we can project onto the wall?
Yeah, short throw, actually, short throw, doesn't it?
That'll go right there. Okay. Event's coming together nicely. So
So do we decide on Friday or Sunday?
Friday evening at 4 o'clock, we'll start speeches. As the sun goes down, we'll cut the ribbon. Everybody listens to music and enjoys the whole location.
Is it possible to have the way of cars coming in and coming out, because it's kind of discreet there?
That's exactly why you're biking or walking.
Biking or walking, and then people can park at the DeSoto entrance on the other side and walk through as well.
Carpool
Might be
too.
a good time when people are gonna probably ask about the lake.
And we could talk about that as well.
That might be the time, if you guys want to.
Yeah, no,
That's
it's-
Stations almost, and like.
Yeah, what I was gonna
These
say,
stations will be with pre-assigned.
what we did at, the, Ocean Reef Beach Festival with having like our green achievement targets and like having a board where people could write ideas down.
I
I
like
feel like
that.
we should have all that stuff set up here as well, because that's.
Do we have the tables inside the shade house?
Yeah, I mean, we can do that.
And I think we can probably use that as well as maybe some other tables.
Just want to make sure people know, like when they walk into this event, like, there's this thing, there's this thing, there's this thing, here's this map.
Yeah, maybe we should make it a game when they walk through the,
Yeah, this is all.
not a game.
A bingo,
necessarily, but
like
you
to
know
check
what I
off all
mean,
the
like
boxes
some
in
kind of-
bingo?
They have to go to each station.
All right, okay.
Well, if you're-
We should be talking about this earlier, but.
Well, if you're doing that, who's playing on the field where the pond's going to go? I saw some little football. I don't know whether they're scheduled or not. Seahawks?
Yeah, the Seahawks, we're still over there.
And they're
How
gonna,
late? How far into the season? Will anybody be using that field when
At
this
that time?
event takes place?
Yeah,
Friday night?
yeah, we practice on Fridays, right?
what's a win?
Till 8:15.
Okay, so they're.
But we're actually at the field across from Beef O'Grady's.
Okay, because, the
Should
point
not be
is,
DeSoto Field.
what,
I gotta look at it and see the-
what I had in mind, if you really want to expand, if they went out with whatever the little thing is with lime that you use to line things or something, and made an outline of where the pond's going to be, and you could do all kinds of stuff there if you really want to get fancy.
Yeah.
I feel like we're pushing
I think we're
people
pushing
too far away, though.
Yeah, that's true. I'll see this Friday what goes on there, because I think the cheerleaders are there Friday also.
We can give them a map and they can walk out there with a map. I mean, that might work.
That won't affect them too much, but it's gonna affect that whole area.
I want to try to keep them around the,
Yeah, I'm thinking.
Point
of-
was that people are parking up there.
Yeah.
You've already
they're already there.
there. And if there's a lot of something with cheer and football, you may find there isn't a whole lot of parking.
Yeah.
It's gonna be,
It's gonna be packed.
true.
May park along DeSoto like they do for the Jingle Bell Run,
Maybe.
because, I mean, that was packed.
I'll
this
talk
year.
with PD about that and maybe get Pearson to have a PD officer available for us as well.
Hey, do you think it would be possible or awesome if, a few months back on our Facebook page there was this video about this family that was making these edible eating utensils. That'd be kind of cool. If we
That'd be
could-
cool.
If we could get those.
They're local or?
They're not
I didn't
local.
get the impression that
No, they're not local.
Yeah.
But we do have time. We could look into it and potentially source something. But I do think that we should stay away from styrofoam and all of that. And that's true.
Yeah.
So just make sure that we stay true to who we are.
How about, with Julie, for University of Florida?
Okay.
Do you want her to come here and give
You mean Sally Scalera?
Sally Scalera
Or Linda Seals?
Linda Seals?
I'm meeting with Linda tomorrow. I could talk to them and see if, that'd be nice to have someone from ITHIS there.
She would just say the Florida-friendly ones.
Yeah.
They might want to be there. They would,
Nick.
they're there for you?
Let her know the Shade House. Tell her that Florida-friendly lawns directly connects with the Shade House right there. And
That's
they
true.
should- They should bring their Florida-friendly lawns education stuff there.
Okay. For KBB?
Well, no, KVB is lagoon-friendly lawns. Right. IFS Extension does Florida-friendly lawns, which is essentially the exact same thing.
Yeah.
But I was just saying, if you're going to talk to Linda Seals, that's an easy way that she will show up if you just say the Shade House is about native plants.
Yeah.
It coincides with the Florida-friendly lawns.
Another station.
Yeah.
It's another station because they have.
All right, I'll work on stations.
That's
Yeah.
what arguments that they
Okay.
promote.
Thank you for more work. It's fantastic. We could talk more about this when we all meet out there on the 11th and 12th to continue to do more work, and we can kind of, meet again and talk again.
Because the beautification board could also have a little,
I think we should definitely have the beautification board,
they could try to promote people. They say, hey, we need 2 volunteers.
and we'll also be looking at volunteer recruitment for other projects. That'll definitely be a thing, is volunteer recruitment, for sure. But I want to digress and yield my time, so thank you very much.
Thank you. A lot going on, obviously. So yeah, so if we need to call a workshop or something, if it looks like it's getting overwhelming,
I
let
think-
us know and we can
yeah.
schedule something.
Let's try to do a workshop on at least a week before. So just looking at maybe that 23rd, that Wednesday, a week before the next meeting. And we could do, like Zach said, like a walkthrough and kind of iron out any details and things like that.
Okay, sounds good. I want to get that on the calendar then, or?
It's already our meeting.
Oh, 23rd is the meeting.
1, 2, oh, you're right, so 4.
16th? The 16th is a canceled city council meeting.
That's a council meeting.
It's canceled.
Oh, it's a
Yeah.
council meeting?
Yeah, so 16th.
Let's do it the 16th.
16th?
Yeah.
Why don't you just do it at the same time we're doing the irrigation thing at the, on the 18th or 19th? Can we do it out there? Or do you need?
Oh, that's a good idea.
Or do you want to be in a?
If you do it the 18th at the time that you want to do on that Friday, then we'll see the kind of traffic that's going to be there.
Yeah. All right, let's 18th, 19th. We'll do it on the,
Well, we can't do it because you can't change the time then once you make it. Once you advertise the time on the 1st, we can't change it.
yeah.
So I can look this Friday and give you an update on exactly what
It's
goes
going to be
on
at that field.
on Friday at 4 o'clock. What time did you say, 5 o'clock?
4 o'clock starts.
Let's see if we can do everything on the 11th and 12th. We'll try to do irrigation on the 11th and 12th.
4 is better.
So that way we can have the meeting on the 16th and the walkthrough then. Because on the 11th and 12th, I think we can have everything ready for that. And that's just 4x4s, concrete, and rain barrels. And we should be able to knock that out on the 11th and 12th. So let's make those the work days, the 16th the meeting, the workshop / walkthrough, and we can actually meet at the field again. And then if we need to do anything, 18th and 19th will be additional work days. Everybody good with that?
Yeah.
Okay.
That's good.
But we need to confirm the time exactly.
And you'll help me with that?
Because you have to advertise pretty soon.
Yeah, we'll put out a video probably on the 16th.
Sounds good.
Okay? So, yeah, we'll put out a video on the 16th. We can have,
Talking about this coming 16th, right?
yeah,
Okay.
because we have the video from the scouts.
Yep.
We'll do an interview with Zach and myself at the Shade House.
Perfect.
And invite everybody out. If you want to do, because I'll give them enough time, if you want to do on the 11th and 12th and be out there with the board, when we're out there volunteering, we can get statements from anybody that want to be on there, and then we can all do one of those, group invites where we invite everybody to come out as a board. Can everybody make the 11th and 12th work days?
When you say the 11th Friday, what kind of time frame are you looking at?
I will be out there all day. I will be out there all day on the 11th, and then most of the day on the 12th.
I might be out of town.
Yeah.
I'm working the 11th and the 12th.
Oh, okay.
I can't get there.
These days are not looking good.
Not for now, for a good part of the day.
Okay.
If I'm in town, for sure.
Okay. Either way, I'll get it done. It's not something that I can't.
I'll be out there.
Okay. And we'll get as many people as we can out.
Yeah.
And,
Typically on Saturdays, what time would you get started?
Same thing, 9 o'clock.
9 o'clock? Okay.
Yeah. I'm a 9 o'clock guy.
Okay, fair enough. It's a good time.
Do you want to wait, Dylan, and put the video out on Friday, Saturday, so that on the 16th, when we all meet out there, that we can get a video with the board? And then,
Yeah.
Is that enough time?
Yep.
Okay, let's do that then. We'll wait for,
But I do feel like,
you want the video out there.
yeah, I almost feel like the event page, I mean, how soon can we have an event posted on Facebook? Because at least
2 weeks out, I think it's.
There's the thing, that's like the bare minimum that you would ever post an event is 2 weeks out. If you can at least post it a month, and I mean, I know we're pushing these numbers, but technically the best is to at least have it a month in advance. And that's the thing, I mean, we would have to put together at least a general, and I mean, we wouldn't want to mislead anyone too much, because a lot of people are going to look at it right when it's posted, but we kind of need to, I'm not saying that you have to have everything together when we post the event.
Right, but
meaning
we can
timeline,
create-
but we need to have some general outline soon
Or just put bullets, we don't have to have times associated, just bullets of
of what's going to happen.
Yeah.
And then you can
Okay.
reorganize it, but we do need to have something posted sooner rather than later so that people can start planning and knowing and spreading. And I don't feel like posting it 2 weeks is going to give us the best outcome.
Really?
I mean, we can get a good outcome with that, don't
The
get me
video,
wrong.
you want to put the video?
No, not the video, sorry, I'm talking about just getting an event shared on Facebook.
Oh, okay, yeah.
The video itself, we can post 2 weeks before, that's fine, that's good timing, because then the video has time to really spread, and
Right.
I think that's perfect timing, because it'll be still fresh, but
Oh, yeah, I can
the
create an
event itself,
I could do that. That's not a
I
problem.
think we should try to get that at least up in a week or so here.
Okay, yeah, no problem.
Okay.
That's definitely doable.
All right.
And August 16th is going to be same time, 7 PM.
16th, is that good for everybody? If we meet the 16th at 7 at the Shade House area?
What's that one for?
That's just like the walkthrough workshop, kind of,
It's 7 PM.
7 PM?
That gives us enough daylight, or do we want to?
Maybe 6 for enough daylight?
We still have daylight now.
Well, you still have daylight until after 8.
Wednesday?
Yeah.
Yeah. Usually.
Let's try 6.
6?
6? Just for more daylight?
On 16th.
Yeah.
On the 16th or 17th?
We're going to give
16.
16th.
We might need a
Wednesday.
reminder. We need a second.
Oh, we will send out a reminder.
Secretary?
She's trying to follow along over here. I think she's written down 5 different dates and times.
We'll give you an email with all the dates.
Okay, all right.
Thank you.
At the Garden. At the Garden. All right, I think we should probably move on so we're not here all night.
Thank you for joining us, but.
Thanks for being here.
If we need a 6, we can.
Yeah.
Put my house.
Yeah.
Sure.
Quick question, Zach, my apologies if this is redundant and you've already sent it, but can I get copies of the 8 one-page dealios?
Yeah, that's great, yeah.
And then there's gonna be 4 more?
3 probably?
Yeah, you want the one-pagers?
The one-pagers, it's for the NEP
Yeah.
stuff?
Zach, are you going to send that to?
Anyone else who wants to
Get it out?
Also.
They're,
Okay.
they're
Thank you.
PDFs, it's like printed.
Yeah, that's
There's a special font that reduces ink when you print it.
We'll send everybody on the board.
I just want to read them. Sorry.
Yeah.
Yeah, so no.
Yeah, no, I appreciate it. We'll send it to the whole board. It's a good idea.
She knows. She's going to do it.
She's gonna do it, she's already on it. Already got it. Thank you.
Very good.
Okay.
Very good. Thanks, everybody. So the next item is the, I guess is the agenda items for the next meeting. Does anyone have any?
Yeah, I'm going to do an update of the next meeting and show up a couple of videos. and
That'd be
talk about
great,
some
yeah,
things.
I think we should get that listed too as an agenda.
Yeah,
item, because
that's
there's
why
gonna
I'm
be
saying
folks,
it.
yeah, I
if
think
you
they're
can,
real
because
interested.
This
in
one's going to
coming.
be a few videos, that's, thank you.
Cool. Anybody else have any agenda items they'd like to?
Yeah, I have one. So one of the gap.
Green achievement targets, yeah.
Is to set up I think it's similar to what we had at the Florida Solar Energy Center. We call it the Building Design Assistance Center. And essentially, I don't have the plan in front of me, but essentially it would, if you are building or if you are remodeling, you could submit your plans to us or possibly get some officials from the building department involved. And what we did is we make recommendations on how you could make your project more green.
So there's two GATs that might fall under that. There's convert all municipal building lighting, both interior and exterior, to more efficient, longer lasting LED lighting.
No, it was
There's
a specific one.
Yeah, there's a specific.
Develop internal sustainability review for all new city buildings.
Yes. But I think it also, it goes beyond just city buildings. It opens it up to like Oceana, where if they wanted to come to the city.
And have that available?
Yeah. And
Okay.
it worked out really cool when I did it at the Florida Solar Energy Center, and homeowners could come, submit their building plans, and we would make some really cool recommendations to them. It could be things like, okay, maybe you want to have more south-facing roof, so that you could put solar in the future or now,
That's exactly what it is.
Yeah.
That's what it's supposed to be.
Yeah, things like that.
All right, well, we can start working on that one together and work with John Stone.
Or have, swales built into their design.
For stormwater, sure. Okay.
One of the things was the electric cars wanted their lighting to be on DC. Do you, so when you put solar on them, do you know how to keep them on DC and then use the others? How to have systems of DC in buildings?
Just strictly wired for DC? Yeah, there's.
Just lighting for DC.
Because you could wire straight from the solar panel to the light if it's DC, rather than going
Now,
to
there's
the
actually a big push to go back to DC wired buildings, believe it or not.
How much
because
that's
if you think about it, a lot of the things that are being powered now are actually DC. Even like air conditioners, there's inverter air conditioners, there's inverter, because you can control a DC, you can control a DC motor better than you can an AC motor. You can control the speed on it. And so there's a lot of, so yeah, there's already, ways to do that. Basically, you just need fuses in there so that you're not catching the building on fire.
One of the things was for city hall to have DC LED lighting. And that was for other community buildings as well. And that's one thing.
Yeah, it's on my list here, it's number 20, convert all municipal buildings to solar in the next 2 decades, while striving with City Hall.
That would seem to me to be a real interesting EE problem, because the DC that comes off the panels, I understand it, is about 400, 600 volts. It's not your 12-volt car. Now, I also believe, and I'm maybe 70% sure, I think some of, at least the older naval ships are DC, but again, you're talking like 400 volts. And the thing with DC is you need big cables. Use a lot of copper there as opposed to AC, and I think that's one reason AC won out. So this is one where I think it'd be real interesting to have somebody from like the FIT EE department or somebody, but it needs to be somebody that's not it's all kinds of electrical engineers. It really needs to be a power engineer, and a power engineer that talks AC/DC.
Well, just look around all your in your house, all the little power packs you have, you're converting from AC back to DC.
Yeah.
So think about how many transformers you have nowadays.
But see, that's one of the things, that's one of the drawbacks with a DC is DC doesn't do transformer well as opposed to the AC, just because of the way they work. But anyway, that's neither here nor there, but it's, they've got, basically you're talking Edison versus Tesla.
Yep. But we're not going to be shocking no elephants or dogs or anything like that here. So.
Because we're not Edison.
Yeah, we're not Edison. Not Edison, not creating propaganda.
Anyway, anything else on the agenda? Sorry.
That's one of the items I would like to talk
Okay, so I like that. So I got that down as the next one to.
How we would implement that,
Yeah.
who would be involved.
Okay.
The Solar Energy Center's not doing that anymore?
I don't think so. I mean, the Larry Maxwell guy that was here
Yeah.
a couple meetings ago, he started the Building Design Assistance Center at FSEC, and way before I worked there, but it was a really cool job. We did it for commercial buildings too, it wasn't just residential.
Yeah. I like that one as the next one. That one's going to need to be started anyway.
Plans for the city was a new.
And the Soto project. And
The Soto project and the big.
And the condos. And the community rise up, the acres.
Yeah, what do they call that new place?
It's 100-acre woods or something they're going to call it, I'm not sure.
Well, it's supposed to be like $1 million homes or something.
Yeah.
Oh, that's the 27 acres.
27 acres.
Yeah.
Yeah, if we could get those guys on board with,
Yeah, that's true.
And that's going to be a lot.
Oceana, and it's probably too late now to really implement anything, but there's a lot of things they could have done. They could have done rainwater collection and reuse and.
The company doing the property on DeSoto, I've been talking with John Stone, and they're very sustainability minded, so.
Across from CVS?
Yeah.
What is that going to be?
I don't know if I'm allowed to talk about that. Am I allowed to talk about that?
It's not a gas station, I know that.
No, it's a toxic waste dump.
That's exactly what.
They're going to burn waste nuclear fuel.
Just what is it? A restaurant?
It'll be a combination of mixed use.
Mixed use.
Yeah. There will be a lot of sustainability practices, some solar, stormwater infrastructure, permeable pavers. Very well-minded. Even heard talks of a garden on the roof.
Very nice. Do you know when development starts?
No.
Okay.
So we're not allowed to talk about it?
I don't know if I'm allowed to talk about it yet.
That would be a challenge. 500 feet from the ocean, a green roof.
Yeah, well, secret, I can do.
Yeah, well, it's
CEOs.
1/8.
You can do CEOs, and CEOs would grow the whole
1/8 from
thing.
the ocean, so it has to all be salt tolerant.
You could do CEOs on that whole roof.
I live
Well,
in
you can do CEOs.
Yeah.
You can do CEOs.
all kinds of stuff.
It might grow into the.
But what else can you put on there? You can only put so many plants on there.
You do Bahia grass and Spartina grasses and
Secrets.
some railroad vine and.
Mostly the wind that's your enemy out there.
Yeah, the salt wind.
Yeah.
If you can.
You got a nice
You go on the,
little blockage from those buildings across the road, though.
I was saying, on the west side of that building, they probably have a chance of growing.
Yeah.
All right.
Okay. Perfect. Put that bed and breakfast on top.
Very good. So if no other agenda items for next meeting, then the next item is the adoption of the minutes, last month's minutes.
Oh, before we do that, I just noticed, we have a full board here, right?
We have more people here than we've ever had.
Did we?
It's a short one though, right?
Mostly.
Did we decide on a permanent or was that?
No, we've got
temporary?
a permanent president,
But we
chair,
have
but
temporary
Not a
vice.
vice chair. And I'm beginning, I was just looking here
We
and
want to do
thinking,
this?
maybe we ought to just do a vote and.
Should we just do a vote
the
now?
whole-
So we're still looking for a
John,
permanent
right there,
vice chair.
right?
No, I'm saying the next meeting.
Next meeting?
We were all going to throw it on you.
It ought to be on the agenda if we're going to do it.
I work here.
Put it on the agenda.
So do we know what the status is of our remaining open seat? Is there-
We have one application that is it going to be reviewed next week?
Or the city's gonna, there's one more seat, right, on the board?
Oh, is there?
I think so.
I don't think there's even room, but
There's one application, right? for
I
the
believe so.
sustainability?
Yeah.
Already kicking you out.
No, that's beautification.
that's beautification.
Oh, then I guess not.
No, that was beautification.
Okay, so we're full.
Okay. I thought we were 7, right? 7 permanents?
No, but,
We have 7.
no, Dylan's a non-voter.
I'm not voting. I'm liaison.
Liaison.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think we still have one open seat.
I guess we do all have an open seat.
We'll have to get another chair.
Yeah, that's what I was about to say. We don't even have room for another seat.
I always have brought out the extra chair. Sometimes two.
Okay, I was just curious.
We'll check on that for next time.
Okay.
Yeah, that's something we can definitely.
All right, very good. Then, yeah, so we'll move to the adoption of last month's minutes.
So move.
So moved. Do we have a
A
second? Second. Mr. Vigliotti, second.
Dave Floyd,
Yes.
Matt White,
Si, senor.
Kathleen Henning,
Yes.
John Bergen,
Yes.
Dave Bigliotti,
Yes.
Eugene Matthews,
Yes.
motion carries.
Very good. Then, thanks, everybody, for coming out, and we will see you all next month, or actually early for the community
Thank you
garden
both.
stuff. So,
Workshop.
adjourned. Thank you.
Standing ovation. Thanks.
Thanks, guys.